So what do I mean by that? I coached and helped a doctor who didn't exactly know his values. In my eyes, he looked successful, but he came to me to coach him to be more successful. And when I said to him, what areas in your life are you successful? He said to me, well, this is why I came to see you, and I'm paying you to help me to become more successful. I said, yeah, I understand, but what areas in your life are you successful? And this went back and forward a bit. And then eventually he said, well, I guess I can say in my relationship, I've been married for 10 years, we have a very good relationship, my wife and I, and things are really good. And I said, well, that's great. That's an area of success. Where else are you successful? And he said, I have a good relationship with my son. Oh, that's good. Excellent. You spend a lot of time with him? Yes. Great. Where else are you successful? Well, I have a good relationship with my in-laws. Most people can't stand their mother-in-law. I actually get along really well with my in-laws. Excellent. Where else are you successful? And so we found a few more areas. He goes to church. He has a community. He's established in that community. And then I said, so according to what level do you feel you're not successful? Who are you comparing yourself to? And he said, well, actually, there's this other doctor who lives up the hill. He's got a bigger house. He's got a bigger clinic. And the house is on acreage and all this sort of stuff. And I said, okay, I understand now who you're comparing yourself to. How's his relationship with his wife? He said, oh, actually, we're hearing rumors that they're breaking up. Okay, well, how's his relationship with his son? They hardly see each other. They hardly talk. And there's rumors that the son's a druggie. Okay, that's unfortunate. I'm not even going to ask you about his relationship with his in-laws. If they're breaking up, him and his wife, it mustn't be that great. And what about his community and his church? Does he partake in that? And he said, no, he's really disconnected from all that. So I said, okay, well, if I was to get you to switch to both the positive and the negative, you can have the house, you can have the acreage. Would you give up the relationship with your wife, the relationship with your son, the relationship with your community to have that? And he said, no. I said, well, so there you go. The reason you're not feeling successful at the moment is because you're comparing yourself to standards to somebody else without fully seeing the full picture. And that's what a lot of people do. People don't understand their own values, so they don't know what level of success they want to achieve, and then they live according to other people's values. And these are the people, I mean, I'm not talking about strangers here, and I'm not judging people. This is just an observation because I work with a lot of people on human behavior all around the world. And you see this with people that, for example, I studied for 6 years to become a dentist, or I studied to become a lawyer, and I don't love it. I don't even know why I did it. And then when they think back, it's because their mum wanted them to be a lawyer or a dentist, or their father wanted them to go and take that particular career. And so they did something for 6 years. That's a big time commitment in uni that they didn't love. Imagine if they just focused on what their values are, what their love is, and went with that. Imagine where they'd be. You know, we'd have a lot more Steve Jobs, we'd have a lot more Bill Gates, we'd have a lot more of the successful people. And now you start to realize why the major success in the world is owned by the minority groups, and the major population of the world is still struggling to attain significant levels of success. Because people don't focus on their values, they don't focus on what success means to them. I hope this is getting you in the mindset of working out what are my values, what is important to me, what do I want to create, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. So what is mindset? Mindset, I mean, can anybody answer what mindset is? No? We have silence, great. So mindset is a set of rules, a set of value systems, a set of, I guess, a criteria that you operate from. That is your mindset. That is your belief systems, your values, and so on. So, I don't want to get political, but let's talk about maybe different governments' mindset. And I'll use Australia and I'll use Singapore. There's no right or wrong, just different mindsets. In Australia, we have a very liberal sort of approach to workforce. So we have unions. And I worked in a big company that, because of the unions, they could have shutdowns and stand downs, and all these people just go, no, we're not working today because we're going to protest, and they walk off. And what are we supposed to do? So I'd be sitting in the office and management are scrambling, okay, we're going to need to do this, and people from the office need to go downstairs and start doing this contingency planning. And this can go on for days. And then companies go, right, we're losing so much revenue, let's adjust our employment agreement or whatever, give them what they want so they can get back to work. And this is what kind of sends companies broke in certain places, or makes it difficult at least to operate or have a manufacturing plant or something in Australia. In Singapore, and I'm going to keep it on a light-hearted rather than a political matter, years ago I was watching something quickly on TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, even though I present on TV. I was watching something and it was on the news, and it said a group of workers have decided to protest, and they're striking from work. Right, the Singaporean mindset, the government approach is, we'll send in immigration and anybody who's striking gets deported, right? Problem solved. So the Singaporean way of doing things can sometimes be a little bit different. I'm not saying good or bad, but different to the Australian approach. So that is a short, quick understanding and a bit of a light-hearted approach to seeing what government mindset could be like. You've got to understand that what governs you in your life is your mindset. And if you don't govern you, then who governs you? You know, my biggest challenges sometimes are not my clients, it's my family. And I speak to my dad and I say, Dad, you've got to really watch your health. You've got diabetes and this. Why are you eating this stuff? He goes, I can't help it. I like it. And I'm like, well, if you can't help it, who's going to help it? Who's going to help you? You understand what your condition is, what you should be eating and what you should be eating less of. If you don't govern yourself, who will? You know, he probably needs to move to Singapore and get some tough love and understand discipline. And so it's all about that. And I mentioned before, it's all within your hands, right? So your self-image, your self-level of governing yourself and your success lies within you. I quite often tell my clients, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. That's how powerful your mindset is. I think with the opener from our lovely MC, Sean, he was talking about the race and he thought he can't beat his commander. That thought is the reason why he couldn't beat him. The moment he adjusted that thought, this is how powerful our thoughts are. So where are your thoughts holding you back in business, holding you back in investing, holding you back in your personal life? And then you've got to adjust that. And if you're a salesperson and you're afraid to reach out on LinkedIn, it's that thought that's holding you back from reaching out and connecting with more people or branching out. So your success is directly related to your mindset. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So quite often, I talk to different groups of people and get them to just imagine, what do they want to achieve? And it's not just about wanting or wishing, because wishing is very wishy-washy, but it's about imagining what you want to achieve, having a strong desire to achieve it, putting that desire to some sort of paper, pen and paper. This is the most powerful thing you can do in the world, is take notes and write down your action plans for your life. And think forward. Over 10 years ago when I was in the corporate world, our CEO put out a memorandum and some information, and he said, we've got a 2020 vision. We're in 2018 now, we haven't reached 2020. And in my mind as a young mid-20s, I thought, who the hell has a over 10-year plan? We don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. But that was my mindset at that time. I now think that if you don't have a 10-year plan, then you've really got some struggles ahead of you. You've got to plan ahead. You've got to look ahead in your life. Where do I want to be? Where do I want to be with my family? And if you don't know where you want to be and you don't create that vision, who's governing you? Who's going to help you achieve what? Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, oh my God, I wonder how Benny's doing in his company. I want to dedicate my day today to helping him, or my year. Nobody. Oh my God, I wonder how Linda's doing, where she's planning her next trip, if she's looking at the map of the world and connecting with people to go. No one will do that. Everybody's committed to one thing, and it's to their own ability to create success in their life. But it depends on how committed they are, that they'll ever achieve it or not achieve it. And then not everybody has the resources, and not everybody has the skill set to be able to achieve that. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about resources and skill set. So you've got to start researching. You've got to start doing your own. This is the best photo I could find to demonstrate research. Students in a lab. You've got to start researching what works for you and what doesn't. What feels good for you? What do you want to achieve? What don't you want to achieve? If I didn't love speaking and sharing this message, I wouldn't be here today. Now, I directly came here from Perth specifically for this event to speak to you. I love what I do. I love the teaching and learning, and this meets that criteria. Guess what else it meets? It meets the other criteria of traveling on purpose. talking to all of you, to networking with all of you, to helping all of you, even if it's just through the message of the information that I share. I have no other expectations. Networking, spending time with Roy, who's a collaborative partner, and just seeing where else I can create collaborations. Collaborations are the way forward. The companies that are perishing and that are disappearing, like the Kodaks, didn't understand the power of collaboration. The old SWOT analysis from being a marketing guy is all about threats, strengths and weaknesses and so on. And a lot of people consider still that competition is a threat. For me, I want to change the whole SWOT analysis, and I think competition is not a threat. Competition is a chance for you to raise the bar. The more value you can provide, the better off you'll do. And perhaps they're also a chance for collaboration. You don't have to take over their area of work or their expertise, but now you know someone who can specialize in that particular area, and you can recommend them and refer them to people. You know what I mean? And then they could do the same for you.